Ripa, Mark Consuelos make rare political statement after Jimmy Kimmel's return, understood both sides. In the world of daytime television, few couples hold as much influence as Ripa and Mark Consuelos. The pair, who have balanced their careers, family, and long-running marriage in the public eye, rarely wade into political waters. Their focus has traditionally stayed on entertainment, family life, and the personal anecdotes that keep audiences tuning in every morning. But following the high-profile return of late-night host Jimmy Kimmel to his ABC show, the couple made a rare and striking political statement that has ignited conversation across both television and political circles. Kimmel, known for his sharp political humor and willingness to address divisive issues head-on, made headlines with his much-anticipated return to late-night television after a short hiatus. The episode, marked by biting commentary on national issues, managed to stir debates far beyond the entertainment industry. While many celebrities chimed in with support or criticism, it was the voice of Ripa and Consuelos that stood out, precisely because of their usual reluctance to dive into such matters. Appearing together during a candid conversation, the couple expressed that they had carefully followed the heated discussions surrounding Kimmel's return and commentary. Rather than take a polarizing stance, they emphasized something unexpected in today's climate, an understanding of both sides of the political spectrum. Their statement, brief but deeply reflective, has been hailed by some as a refreshing take and criticized by others as an attempt to remain safe. Regardless of interpretation, one thing is clear: when two of television's most recognizable figures speak on politics, people listen. A surprising step into political discourse. For decades, Ripa has built her reputation on charm, humor, and relatability. As the face of Live, since 2001, she has excelled at creating a space of levity and connection with her audience. When Mark Consuelos joined as her permanent co-host in 2023, fans were delighted to see the pair's natural chemistry bring a family dynamic to morning television. What viewers didn't expect, however, was to hear them weigh in on political debates, especially in such a direct way. Ripa acknowledged during their remarks that politics had always been the conversation we keep at home. Yet, she admitted, sometimes the cultural climate pushes even the most private discussions into the public realm. Consuelos agreed, pointing out that being in media often means having to address topics that can't be ignored. Their joint statement after Kimmel's return wasn't an endorsement of any one side, but rather an acknowledgement of the complexity of today's debates. Ripa put it succinctly, "What struck me is that people aren't really listening to each other anymore. Watching Jimmy's show and then watching the reactions reminded me of that. But in our own conversations, we realized that we could understand both sides." Reactions from viewers. The couple's remarks quickly circulated across social platforms, with fans and critics alike weighing in. Some praised them for refusing to give in to partisan divides. Others accused them of trying to avoid taking a stand. For their most loyal viewers, however, the tone of their comments felt authentic. "Kelly and Mark don't have to agree with everyone," one fan commented, "but the fact that they're willing to even acknowledge both sides shows maturity. It's so rare now." Others argued that the couple's position leaned too much into neutrality. "Saying you understand both sides is a privilege," another commenter said. "It may feel balanced, but some issues demand clear stances." The polarization of the reaction itself only underlined what Ripa and Consuelos were trying to express, that American political discourse has become more about dividing than connecting. Why Kimmel's return sparked the discussion. The timing of the couple's statement is crucial to understanding its impact. Jimmy Kimmel's return to his late-night slot had been eagerly anticipated, not only for his comedic takes, but also because of his reputation for speaking candidly on political and cultural issues. Over the years, Kimmel has become one of the most outspoken late-night hosts on subjects ranging from healthcare to election integrity. His latest episode continued in that tradition, delivering pointed critiques that drew sharp applause from one half of the audience and biting criticism from the other. Social media quickly erupted, with hashtags trending and think pieces being published within hours of the broadcast. This environment, ripe with division and noise, became the backdrop for Ripa and Consuelo's statement. It wasn't so much about agreeing or disagreeing with Kimmel's points, but more about reflecting on the larger picture. The inability of people to coexist in a space where differences can be acknowledged without hostility. The power of celebrity voices. The significance of Ripa and Consuelos speaking out lies not in the boldness of their words, but in the rarity of them doing so. Unlike late-night hosts whose careers often thrive on political commentary, daytime personalities, especially morning show hosts, generally avoid overt political discussion. Their brand depends on relatability, inclusiveness, and maintaining a broad appeal across demographics. That is why the couple's acknowledgement, however carefully phrased, carried weight. They occupy a unique space, beloved by millions, respected for their marriage and family values, and largely apolitical in their public persona. To hear them even cautiously address political division suggested that the intensity of the current climate had reached a point where silence no longer felt possible. A marriage of perspectives. Part of what made the statement resonate was the fact that it came from both Ripa and Consuelos together. Unlike solo hosts who deliver monologues, this was a joint reflection, a conversation between partners who, like many couples, navigate differences and discussions privately. They admitted in their remarks that they don't always see eye to eye politically, but that has never defined their relationship. Instead, they stressed the importance of listening, of allowing room for disagreement without rupture. This dynamic struck a chord with viewers who feel similarly torn between political loyalties and personal relationships. In a time when politics has divided families, neighbors, and even close friends, Ripa and Consuelos offered a reminder that unity does not require uniformity. Critics weigh in. Of course, not all reactions were positive. Some critics dismissed their comments as shallow or evasive, pointing out that understanding both sides can be interpreted as a refusal to engage in meaningful activism. Political commentators were quick to argue that figures with such massive platforms should not remain neutral, especially when issues of justice and democracy are on the line. Others countered that not every celebrity needs to be a political warrior, and that the couple's decision to emphasize understanding was, in itself, a valuable form of commentary. Regardless of perspective, the attention the statement received only highlighted the precarious position of celebrities in today's political landscape. Speak out too much, and you risk alienating half your audience. Say too little, and you're accused of complacency.